Today I'm going to be doing a bit of work on my road bike here. Did some repairs on it previously, cleaned the carbs, did some electrical testing to make sure coils are good, the TPS sensor is good, and a few other things, and I noticed some items have perished. The main one, which I guess you could say is a safety feature, is the throttle cables. So you got to push-pull. Don't know why, but the push or the safety one had completely snapped and was doing nothing. So pulled it out, it's fine. I've ridden it a few times, but I just thought I'd be safe and replace both, because this one could be shagged as well. While I'm in there, I did also notice some of the fuel lines were a bit fatigued, so I've replaced most of them. I couldn't replace all of them, but I've got all the bits I need now, so I'm going to do it. Step 1, got to remove the tank. Broken. That's all I need to take out. It just allows the fairings to pop out a little bit, just out of those clips in there, and then that way the tank can lift up. Everything underneath is disconnected, so now it should just come straight up. This is our vacuum line to the fuel tap on the tank. When the carbs draw a vacuum, it opens the fuel tap, allowing gas to go in through this hose, fuel filter. I've got some green tape on this one because it has some damage to the I don't even know what you call it anymore. It's got damage to part of the carb just under here. It still works, but I just want to make sure I remember which one it was. I've got some other carbs that I'm trying to rob some bits from. So yeah, like I said before, I've tested the coils, I've changed the plugs, I've checked compression, and I've cleaned the carbs previously. But anyway, what I'm here to do is I just want to change this small piece here of fuel line. It's the original one, it's a bit cracked, and the throttle cable needs to be replaced. There should be two here. Just a standard straight fuel line won't work for that small piece because it does have to go around quite a tight corner. So I've found this piece I'm just going to cut a section out of. I think it was like $9 on Trade Me. Push-pull cable from a local supplier, and these are actually float bolt gaskets. I got these after I finished the carbs, so they'll be set aside for next time. The bowls aren't leaking, so I'm okay with it. It's so hot today. Something like that. Ta-da! Sheesh. Oh. Oh my gosh. I hope this new stuff is the right size. Haven't actually checked it yet. Pretty committed now though. Okay, maybe now. Oh, yeah, baby. Sheesh. I mean, if it's not the right size, bit of duct tape. Oh yeah, that's good. Hopefully these fit. Oh no. Let me see if I have some bigger ones. Well, couldn't find any more of those type of clamps, but I've got these these ones. I don't really like using them too much because you can torque them down very tightly, but it's what I got, so I'm going to use it. It's quite, oh, that's a nice fit, I like that. Yeah, I couldn't get these other clamps on even after I soaked it in WD-40, lubed it up. I just did not want to go. So at least our rubber hose won't rust. So I'm not going to go crazy on that. It's just plastic after all. That would do. Oh yeah, that's really tight. And I'll save these ones for the next time. Nice. And here is the problem, boys and girls. It's not supposed to do that. No good. Anyway, got some replacements. Let's check if they're correct. Oh, that nearly got me in the eye. So, yeah, I'll just check the length. I got the big hole. Well, I suppose I didn't have to. Anywho, angle of the dangle slightly different. Should be okay. Oh, don't. Bit more sticky outage. That might be no bueno. I'll stick it on and see what it does. Might be okay. You might have noticed that the broken piece here wasn't actually touching, so I've butted it up, taped it together, lined up these landings, pulled the cable out so they're the same length, and this end is much better, but I would say there's about 5mm difference there. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that there's enough adjustment in the cable to take up that slack. Should be. I'm not really too worried, to be honest. Worst case scenario, I won't use it. So that runs in front of the tube fork, behind the brake line, between the steering head. Yeah, easy. So I've got to fan dangle it down to a little wee hole on that thingy that's in the middle of the screen right now. I'll probably have to use screwdrivers as finger extensions to pop it in there. Once it's in there, it'll be fine. But getting it in there would be tricky. I'll try film it. Just for like context, location sort of stuff, it is in there. This one, pull, is the pull side. It opens the butterflies, and then in the event that that jams, the push side pulls back on it to close the butterfly. The knob end has started in the hole, but the groove that the cable then goes through is further down. So I'm going to use a flat bladed screwdriver to push over or push down the cable so it'll slot into the cable slot while putting sideways pressure on the knob end and talk to you at the same time. Superfragilistic kicks beer. Oh, my back hurts. It's still in the hole. It's where we want it. We just want it to go all the way in. Get in. Yes! Man, that was easy. I've now got the other end of the cable in my mouth so I don't lose tension on it. So I just feed that in, clicks into place, and now I'll tension it. I've decided I'm going to remove the airbox. I mean, I was pushing it, getting the other one in, and in the back here I've got the butterflies jammed open and I just can't get anything in there, so I'll take that off. More work. My little wee ratchet to the rescue again. Nice. Sometimes my stupidity frightens me. What a dumbass. My ratchet's still cool though. Oh look, it even goes to the very inner one. I might just use my little ratchet just to waste time. Roll. Gotcha. There's a vent line under there. I wonder if I just pull hard enough it'll just come off. Yep. So the fuel tubes I was talking about before, fuel comes down here into this T-piece. It was very interesting finding the seals for that. They're kind of like a rubber little cup that goes over the end of it. Think I got the last two in the country. But anyway, fuel comes into here and then goes through a tube into these two tubes here. 1 and 2. Just filling up your bowls. So while we're here, you have to do this. Just have to. Because why not? I just don't think there was any way I was going to get that out without taking the airbox off. That's the one I'm trying to remove. Oh no. Oh. Yeah. Stick my finger there. She's out. So I'll just show you. There's the butterflies up there. When you open the throttle, opens your butterflies. When you open your butterfly, because you got air going through these holes here into these two holes, it creates a vacuum which sucks these up slowly. I think it's because if you just open your butterflies quickly like that, you got way too much air being dumped in. Whereas if you open your butterflies, this comes up slowly, kind of moderates or slows down how much air is actually going through. Eventually it'll get wide open, but yeah, it just means that you won't bog down. So I've jammed them open. I've checked my pull throttle cable and it's exactly the same, so I'm happy with that. So I'm just feeding it into the hole. Use my screwdriver, just put some sideways pressure while I turn the cable, and it's in. And I've made a mistake. It's supposed to go on the other side of this here, so do it again. That's going to make it a little bit harder. It's there. Roll it over. Oh! Try again. Okay. Into the hole. No. Come on. Oh, this kills my back. Into the into the hole. Into the hole. Roll it over. There we go. She's in. Oh, got it. Same thing. Feed it into there. Okay, I'll leave it there for now. I'll run the cables to the bars and then we'll go through some tensioning. Always wear protection. Just going to put the teensiest, winsiest bit of lube on this plastic threads here. It's very firm in the hole and I'd like to get it out maybe one day. So far, these cables are fitting up nicely. So I jammed the throttle open and I completely removed these from their posies so that I had enough slack to get both the push and the pull cable on this throttle tube. So what I've done is I've left the push safety side just loose, and I haven't tightened any of this up yet, but I've just made sure that there's the tiniest bit of slack. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just pulling that cable a little bit, tiniest bit of slack in that cable there, so that it is still relying on the physical stop down here, which is your idle set. So that should be good there. Tiniest bit of slack. Throttle feels really good actually. I'm happy with that. I guess I've just got used to a sloppy throttle in the past and never thought to adjust it, but yeah, no, that's really good. Fits perfectly. I'll just set up the side now, just so that's also a little bit of slack, and I'll just make sure that as I go through the actuation of the throttle that nothing binds up and there's no random tight spots on any of the cables, and then that'll be good. Here's a pro tip for you. When you're cutting the tails off your cable ties, always cut it on a bit of an angle like that to leave it a bit of a jagged. So that makes it real easy for the next guy to find. Pro tip. This is what I got to do to get the vent on the bottom of this airbox. Nice. What I do to make sure these air boots are fitted correctly is I take the filter out of the airbox so I can get my hand in the airbox and manipulate the rubber boots till I can feel that they are correctly on, because they can look on and not be on. So get my hand in there push from the inside and feel around the boot to make sure there's no kinks. Like there was a kink just in there before, so I just popped it in, give it all a push. So now I'm happy that that's on. I'll tighten up the clamps and then I'll put everything back in here, and then that way I know I'm not going to have any air leaks. She's all buttoned up now. While I've got the tank off, I'm going to set up my fuel supply thing and run the bike, get nice and warm, and I'm going to do a synchronization check on the carbs. So I've got my IV bottle set up, giving the bike fuel. I've got the vacuum lines connected to all 4 carbs, and I've got my wee fan here just running up at the engine because I'm not a monster and I don't want to melt things. It's air cooled, not radiator. Well, it's got an air cooler. I suppose you could call that a radiator, but it's just air cooled engine. And preliminary could be better. I do need to increase the idle a little bit. I think it wants 1400 RPM and it needs to be warm as well. So I'll let it warm up, I'll crank the RPM up a little bit and probably make adjustments, to be honest. I've not long done this and I got it bang on. Like as bang on as you can with this sort of tool. And I've done maybe 2 4-hour rides on it and bit of unbalance there already. That's far better than it was. There's 2 banks, left bank and right bank. I get these 2 middle ones about right, and then I match this one to that one, and then that one to that one. It's interesting, now it's getting warmer, the revs coming up a wee bit. See that one climbing a little bit. But it's a lot better than it was. And now we have some fun. Clutch in. Try again. Up. Oh, goes round and round. I think I need some new sprockets. Another job. Sweet dreams, old throttle cables.